Hello, how are you today? My name is Joanne Hewins. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm happy to be with you today. All right, great. I think I've got everything set up and ready to go. So today we are going to be working with a stamp set that is located on page 75 of the catalog, and it's called Shaded Summer. So I have Shaded Summer here. This is one that I have to say, I just flipped past it the first time I went through the book or so. And I ended up needing to buy it for a tutorial that I needed to write. And I'm so glad that I did, because the sayings on this stamp set, hi Faith, how are you? The sayings on this stamp set are just the best. May the good you do come back to you. Above and beyond, you go there a lot. Love you, friend. Happy birthday. Some friendships are just meant to be. I like that. Hello, you, and thank you. So it's a great stamp set. But I've got some exciting news about this Shaded Summer stamp set. Now, I can't show you the inside of the celebration brochure, but here it is. And inside the celebration brochure that goes live on August 3rd, hi Sue, they have a die cut that goes right along with the stamp set Shaded Summer. So I just think that's wonderful, and that's really what we're going to talk about today. We're going to talk about the Shaded Summer stamp set and the Summer Shadows, it's a little tongue twister, Summer Shadows dies. Now these are wonderful. They have dies that fit the cutouts. So that one and this one, and even this small little sprig here. That might be the only one I didn't use today. So it fits those three images, but then you have more. And we're going to see what you can do with some of those dies. I think you're going to want them. Now these dies will be available with a $100 purchase. And they'll be available during celebration, which is August 3rd through the end of September. So with a $100 purchase, you can choose these dies, and you can also order Shaded Summer if you don't already have it, because you're going to want it. It's just such a great set. So I'm going to move these aside for just a few minutes, and I'm going to tell you that even though I can't show you the inside of the catalog, I used it as my inspiration today. So when I get a lot of new stamp sets, sometimes my mind shuts down. I don't know if that happens to any of you, but it's like I have so much new all at once, and I can't decide how to use any of it. So sometimes I will go to the illustrations or the samples that are in the catalogs. And these catalogs, the celebration, the mini catalog, the annual catalog, they all have great samples. So this is the first card that we're going to try to make today. It's got some embossing on it, and I either emboss well or not that great, but I've already got some of this done, but we're going to talk about how to do all of that. And one thing that I have on all of the cards that we're going to make today, I have some designer series paper, and the paper for all of them are cut at 3 by 4. Now that's a good way to get some good use of your designer series paper, because you can get, I think 12, 3, 4, yeah, you can get 12 pieces from a sheet of 12 by 12 paper, and that will help you to do 12 cards. If you happen to be a demonstrator and you do classes, then this is going to stretch your paper out a little bit longer if you have a lot of people that are coming. So I'm going to start with this largest stamp, and I'm going to stamp around the outside of the card with Versamark. Now when a stamp is kind of larger, I like to put it up this way and do the ink to the stamp rather than the stamp to the ink. So I'm just going to add this around, and all that is going to darken up the space around. Can you see what it's doing? And you want to, let's see if I can show you a little bit better. You want to come at it from different angles so it doesn't all look exactly the same. And since I'm going to have the center of this covered, I can come out, the center doesn't have to look so fantastic. So I'm going to turn this around and come at it from, actually, I think I'll do it up like that. And then we'll get this last little corner. Okay. Can you see the design that's on there? Okay, so I'm going to add my paper in the center, and this is from one of the Christmas papers out of the mini catalog. I want to say Peaceful Place or something like that. But I'm going to just kind of glue this down. Yes, I'm gluing the sparkly pretty part down on the back. I don't know what it is about this tiny little print. I just love that. So I'm going to put that in the center of my paper. And then we're going to set that aside and work on our embossing. So I already have 3 done that I'm going to use, but I'm going to do one of the colors for you and show you how to do all that. So I think that I will do the Coastal Cabana. So I'm using Petal Pink, Highland Heather, and Coastal Cabana today with that. So I'm going to ink up the stamp once again. I'm going to use an embossing buddy. We don't sell these anymore, but they are really good for getting extra little bits of embossing powder off of your project. So I'm going to use this. You can also use a used dryer sheet or something like that. And I'm sure you could get the embossing buddy somewhere else. You just can't get it from us. Okay, so I'm going to stamp this here. And you're not going to be able to see my stamp very well. You can see it a little bit. And I've got my white embossing powder in here. I'm going to move this spoon out of the way, and I'm just going to do that. Okay, so there's really not any extra much on there. So I would do this for every color. Let me move my powder out of the way because you don't want to run your heat tool near your powder or you're going to have a real mess. So I'm going to heat this up real quick. And I just grabbed a heat tool and the one I picked up is not stamping up. So I apologize for that. I've got a couple. But this one works quickly. Okay, so you can see I've got my embossing done. It's just kind of a magical thing, I think, to do the embossing. And I'm going to bring in, close up my ink. I'm going to bring in the Coastal Cabana ink and a blender brush. And I'm just going to blend some color, some extra color on this, just to deepen that up a little bit around there. I think I need to re-ink my pad. Okay, there's some color. So that's going to give it a little bit more depth there. And you're going to get a little bit of color on your white. It's really a resist. But you can just bring in a paper towel and wipe that over it, and it's going to remove that ink from the white and make everything pop really well. Okay, so I'm seeing that I did not bring back in my die cut machine, so we'll pretend that I used the dies to cut that out. I would lay that on here, and look in this little slit right here for your stem. And then I would just take some washi tape or something like that to hold this in place and cut it out. So you would go ahead and do that for all three colors. So let me put that aside. Let me close my lid on this real good, or else I'll have it out on the floor. And we'll take these pieces and just put them on our thing. Gosh, I got that on really crooked. I apologize for that. I don't know what I was thinking. So I'm going to go ahead and just glue these down. I was going to give one of these as a gift, but I suppose it will have to be the one I've already made. That crooked like that, well, maybe I can pretend I wanted it to be that crooked. I don't know. So I'm going to put these down, and I'm just gluing them down. I could use dimensionals on there, but I decided not to. So the samples that were on the in the catalog, or in the Celebration catalog, made me think a little bit more outside of the box what I had thought about using with the shaded summer stamp set. I really liked the samples that they had. I changed them around a little bit, but I did really like that. So I'm going to pull in the saying, "Love you, friend," and we're going to emboss that as well. So a smaller stamp, I'm just going to do stamp to ink rather than the way we did it a while ago. Oops, let me do my embossing buddy. I tend to forget to do that. And we'll stamp our saying. And so I wasn't finished with the embossing with the powder. Let me just stick that in there. And I see I've got just a little bit of a ridge right there. Usually I have a little bit of a brush, but I don't have it with me today, so we'll just do that. I'll just blow on it a little. I think that'll be all right. I really love to emboss, and I just don't do it enough. Hey, Tina. So you're getting ready for the quarterly? Okay, so I'm going to take some snips and just cut that straight there. And I'll cut this straight here. And I'm trying to decide, I did cut a little bit of that. I'm going to bring in this little cutter right here and just trim that down just a little bit. And I'm kind of looking at the measurements here to make sure that that's kind of even. And I just cut just a tiny bit. Okay, I think I'll leave it at that. And now we're going to bring in the Baker's Twine Essential Pack. And I'm going to be using this color, I think it's a smoky slate color, to do some twine around there. And I'm just going to add some glue dots on my card front here. Put one right in there and one over in here. And I'm just going to take my twine kind of around that. Okay, this worked a little bit better before. I think we're good. The twine doesn't need to be perfect. And we're going to come back around one more time on the glue dot. There. And then we'll just kind of trim that away. Okay. And then we'll add some dimensionals to our saying. I'm going to put some way out here at the end. Okay, hold on. I need to move something from, somebody sent me a text. Oops, you don't want that upside down. So we'll put that there. And then I'm going to add some of the metallic pearls to that. And we'll be using the silver on this one. So I'm going to put one down here and one there and one kind of down in here. Put it on the paper. So there we are. That's the first card. And that didn't take as long as I thought it would because we just really only embossed one of them. But I thought that was really cute. And I like how that turned out. Okay, let's go to card number 2 that we're going to do today. And I'll move these out of the way. Thank you, Tina. I'm glad you like that one. This is the next card that we're going to make. And I'll be using Mary Merlot with this. This paper comes from, the designer paper comes from the Expressions in Ink. And what I'm going to do first is bring in this stamp. and I'm going to stamp around the outside. Now, I don't think that you can tell that from the camera, but because I can barely see it. So I had stamped off. I don't think I'm going to stamp off when I do this one. Thank you, Sue. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of stamp around the outside. I just wanted to give it some interest. That certainly is showing up better than the first one. There. And again, I don't have to worry about the center of this so much because it's going to be covered with designer paper. Okay, that takes care of that. And you'll have to let me know when we're done which you like best. I cut this paper differently, but again, here the stripes go across and here they're up and down. So you'll have to let me know which one you like best when we finish with it. What was I going to say? I don't know. So you first would take this larger stamp and you would stamp it in the Mary Merlot. I really messed up by not bringing in my die cut machine. But that's okay because I have the other pieces. So you would do that and then cut it out. This is a piece that we've already cut. So you know how to get your stem in there and use your washi tape. I'm going to go ahead and add this to the center. You think I might can get it a little straighter than I did on the other one? Maybe I need to stand up. And this week I'm not doing the inside of the card. I just thought we had enough going on. Okay. Hopefully that's straighter. Okay. And then we cut out some pieces with the die set in gold foil. So let me bring in the dies and show you which ones I used for this. So this flower is this one. And then we've got the leaves that are detailed here. And the leaves that are not detailed. And then we have these smaller leaves. So these are the pieces that we're using for this card. Okay, so let me stick those back on quickly. I know most of you already know how to die cut, and so I kind of hesitate to do that so much. So what I'm going to do is kind of place some of these around. Let me get my glue. The card. And I really did not worry so much about trying to glue these pieces out this way, but mostly just the base. So I'm going to set this one right here. And I did get a little bit of the, let me lay this here where I think it might go. So we'll put this piece up in here. And then this piece. This is more detailed. I'm just going to try to get some on. I meant to use the adhesive sheets. That would have been my best bet. But I actually had a team meeting this week on Saturday, and we used them. So I didn't really have any left. Okay. Okay, so that made a little bit of a mess, but we can get that later. So we're going to put glue dot or dimensionals on the back of this piece. I'll just put a lot. And let me get these off. So that's going to go kind of like that. Okay, and then we have our saying. This one is about 1 inch by 2 3/4 inches. And we're going to use the saying, some friendships are just meant to be. Let me find my ink again. Okay. So there's our saying. And we're going to put that on dimensionals as well. Now, I'm not much of a glam person, so I don't use a lot of the golds and that kind of thing, but this was, I think this is pretty. And then I'm going to add this little leaf. I think I'm going to put it over on the side. On this first card, I kind of put it there because I had a little boo-boo back behind there. I think we'll just put this kind of coming down like that. Maybe we'll stick a tiny bit of a dimensional under that smaller one. I can get it under there. There we go. And then we're going to use the metallic dots on this one as well. But this time we're going to, of course, use the gold. So let's see where we want to put them. Here. And maybe up here. And since I've got a leaf coming down there, I might put one over this way. So there's that card. I don't know if, can you see the stamping along the outside? Okay, and I've got some glue here that I'll need to go back and a little bit with my little rubber. I think I'll get that off. Yeah. It's kind of coming. I hate to do that on mine, so I'll worry about it a little bit. Okay, so there's the second 2 cards that we're making. Okay, we'll set those aside and we'll come back with the third. So let me tell you that with this card, we're going to be using a lot of the dies. So we'll be using this die and this one to make the flower here. It's kind of like a flower bud. And I made the more solid one in Calypso Coral and the lighter one in the Pale Papaya. Hey Susan, how are you? And then for this one, this more solid part is in the Calypso Coral. And this is the more detailed that goes with it. That is in Pale Papaya. And then we did one that's just this one that's just in the Calypso Coral. And then we did the small leaf. And for this we did the solid leaf And then we did the detailed leaf to go right on top of it. Hello, Suzanne. How are you? Glad to have you here. So I've already got these pieces cut. I know, as I said a while ago, that you all have practiced your die cutting. And you don't really need to see me doing that so much. So here are my pieces. And for this one, I used the Pretty Flowers embossing folder. Now this card is a base that is 4 1/4 by 11. And I put the embossing folder in this way up to the fold. And I really wanted to show you that I did not get it up as high as I could have. So that's a bit of a mistake, but we're just going to go on with it. And hopefully when you do it on your card, if you make one, you'll look and get it up right up there across where your fold will be. And that will look just a little bit nicer. Okay, so again, I have a piece of designer paper. This is from Hand Pinned, and it is 3 by 4. So you could get 12 of these, I believe. No, it might just be 9 of these. I think I was mistaken. 9 of these from a 12 by 12. I think I said 12 a while ago, but I think it's 9. But anyway, that will stretch your paper out a little bit, and you can make more cards, or it would be good for a class if you're a demonstrator and you're getting a class together. Okay, so we're just going to glue this to the center of the card. And I'm going to stand up again. So since I got that first one so crooked, it looked like I got it crooked on purpose though. So maybe whoever I send that to will think that's what happened. Okay, so let's put all of these pieces together. For the saying, I used the Shaded Summer set again and used the Hello You. And I cut that out. Let me show you what I used. The Potted Succulents dies has some great little labels here. And I used this smallest label right here to cut that out. And I thought it just fit perfectly there. So let's put these pieces together and make this card. So I'm just going to glue again. You could take these detailed and cut them out with the adhesive sheets on the back, and that would make putting your things together a lot easier. I just happened to be out of it. We used it for a team meeting on Saturday. So I'm not going to worry about getting all these dots out either. I kind of like some of them filled in. So I'm just going to come and put a little bit of glue right there in the center. Now you can fix this so that it fits perfectly on here. The detail will just match right up with the original. Or you could kind of do it off center if you think that looks better. So you can decide what you want. I decided to put them, to match them up. And I am not doing the edges. Now, what I'm using is this piece right here, and this one seemed to stick out to me a little bit better. So I'm using those two to help me to line those up. Okay, so I've got those together. Let's put this one together here. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue down here on this section. And I'm lining it up along the bottom there. Okay, so it's really a little bit loose out here. as these are loose, and you could kind of scrunch them up if you wanted to and make them look more divided. Okay, and then we'll put these together. And again, the adhesive sheets would be perfect for this. Hi, Iona, how are you today? Good to see you here. Yeah, I like these colors too. I also made them, I'm not going to show that today, but I also made them in a, I thought I had that, in Highland Heather and Gorgeous Grape. And the flowers are really pretty in those colors. Okay, and we'll put these other two together. So you saw on the other card that I made how they kind of looked, just having the detail by itself and the plain and the solid by itself. And then this will show you how it's going to look if you put them both together. And they're easy to match. Okay, so I think we've got our pieces together, and we'll just start. And I actually did not put any of these flowers on dimensionals. Usually I put a lot of stuff on dimensionals, but I just really didn't this time. So I'm going to put this flower down, and we'll take some leaves and just kind of stick them up under there. Now, I played and fiddled with this a while before I came up with this design, and I just kind of liked the way that ended up looking. So we'll put this one over in here. And then I'll get this one. And I'm just going to kind of stick it up under there a little. I've kind of got some glue on my fingers. I need to keep something close by to wipe that off, and I don't have it yet again. Okay, we'll put a leaf kind of up under there. I'm going to hide the stem of my leaf up under there. Okay, and then I am going to put the saying on dimensionals, because that's our most important part. The hello you. So what are you thinking? Are you thinking you're going to need to have these dies from the celebration brochure? So I'm going to put that about like that. And we'll add our little flower back here peeping out from behind there. And I'm going to put it so that the little dots are on this orange paper, so it looks like that goes with it. Ah! It stuck to my hand. I'll put it back. I won't put my hand down like that again. Okay, and then we have another leaf that I added on this side, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I'm going to put it on this other side. For some reason, it just looks like it needs something sticking out over here. I'm going to trim its stem off. And put it down in there. Here. We'll put it there. And then, of course, we're going to have to add some bling to this. So what I have is a baggie full of the Artisan adhesive backed sequins, that's the word, and I'm going to add a couple of those to the card. These are not as dark as these were. Here's the darker ones here. So there are the 3 cards, and as I said, usually I do the insides of the cards, but I didn't do it today. I just felt like somehow or another I got 2 glues out here. I just felt like there was going to be enough time taken up with the 3 cards. So let me bring in the one. So I'm going to get the one that has the straight paper. So we made this one and this one and this one. Which did you like best? Did you like the stripes going across on this one or the stripes going up and down on this one? Let me know. So anyway, this is the one we made today. So these are our 3, and again, these are inspired. This one and this one are inspired by samples that were in the celebration brochure. I can't open it for you, but they were inspired by cards there, although not exactly the same. And that we use today, the Shaded Summer. It's on page 75, I believe. Let me check again. 75, down here at the bottom of our annual catalog. And then the dies, let's see where I put those. They're somewhere. Here they are. The dies that are going to be in the celebration catalog, okay, that go along with these. I just think they're going to be special. I think that you're going to want to purchase the stamp set, and I think you're going to want these dies, and you can get the dies free once celebration starts on August 3rd with a $100 purchase. Okay. Oh, you got your catalog, Susan. I'm so glad to hear that. I was wondering if anyone was going to get them. Okay, I think that's it for today. If you need any supplies, I would love for you to go to Joanne Ewens at lovetocreate.typepad.com, and you can get to my store from there, and I'd love to help you in any way that I can. If you have any questions, let me know. I hope you have time to go stamp something today, and enjoy. Bye-bye.